Trojan Philly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we want to talk about USC's defensive line. How do they compare against other big-time defensive lines? And look, I think USC defensive line is being disrespected. We're going to take a look at that. I want to show you guys some information as it relates to the defensive line. I think it was On3. They put out a top 10 defensive line. And look, I want to show you guys something. But look, hit me in the comment section. When I'm talking about the defensive line, I'm only going to talk about primarily no rush in is going to be involved with this. No edge. Because, look, the rush in position is really what I consider to be the outside linebacker position. So we're going to kind of leave them out of it. But primarily want to deal with the defensive ends, the nose tackle, and the defensive tackle. I want to show you guys three deep how far we go back with that and show you exactly who we got. Listen, don't forget to go ahead and get your Lost in the Sauce gear. All your Lost in the Sauce gear, you guys already know it's in a USCJ store on YouTube, or you can get it right underneath this video. You'll see USCJ store. Go, I got hoodies, I got everything, backpacks, everything. But look, let's talk about USC defensive line, man, and let's see exactly who they are and look how deep we go back. Let's go. Now that we're talking about defensive lines, I want to talk to you about this alarming stat right here, because a lot of people, they continue to say the 4, the 5 stars, the 3 stars. Well, look, Texas A&M had the most 5 stars in that 2022 class. And look, read this stat right here. It says Texas A&M ranked 127th in 10-plus yards rushing plays allowed, despite having the most 5 stars loaded in history. So look, you can have the 5 stars, but it's all about developing the talent. And when we take a look at these guys that we got now, when you look at Thule leading the nation last year in sacks, I believe that year 2 in the system with Coach Sean Nua, I believe that USC will have one of the top, I will say even top 15, top 20 to 15 defensive lines in the country. And when you couple that with the guys that we got coming back, the guys that we came in, I think USC is going to have a big time turnaround when you talk about defensive line. And so let me give you guys the rankings of the defensive lines that they have. They got Georgia, of course, number 1, rightfully so. They always have it. Then you're going to have Michigan, number 2, defensive line. Number 3, they got Illinois, the Illini, at the number 3 top defensive line in the country. That's what they're projecting, but I believe that USC is going to be in there. Number 4, they got Penn State. Number 5, they got Alabama. Number 6 is going to be LSU. Number 5 is going to be Iowa. Number 8 is going to be Florida State. Number 9 going to be Clemson. And number 10 is Ohio State. But look, I think USC is going to have a sneaky good top 15 defensive line in the country. And I believe that with all my heart. We're going to take a look at some of these guys. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I believe our 3 deep is going to be better than what a lot of people think. And so let's take a look at our guys real quick. The first guy we're going to look at is going to be Solo, man. Solo has absolutely came up. I mean, he came this year. He came back. He came back with a mission. He could have transferred. I believe his depth, his experience, we seen it in the spring game. It's going to be on and popping. It's going to be on and cracking. Solo is going to be reason number 1, man, why I think this defensive line, he's going to play defensive end, but I think he's really improved his game, and his go time was so. We cannot sleep on Dejon Benton, man. Dejon Benton, I think he was one of the 2. I think it might have been, I can't remember who the other guy was. But Dejon Benton actually caused a fumble. He played very good in the spring game. I believe Dejon Benton has even improved his game. He's going to be reason number 2 why I think that USC will be improved and help to have this top 15 defense. Kobe Pepe, he was one of them guys, man. I think he's going to contribute to this defensive line being big time. He hit the transfer portal, came back, had an excellent spring, really moved some people around on the defensive line, 300-pound body. I think Kobe Pepe is one of those guys that's going to help contribute on this defensive line. These 2 guys right here, man, you got Anthony Lucas from Texas A&M, Keon Bars. Both of these guys were highly sought after guys in the transfer portal. Keon could have went anywhere, LSU, Auburn, All these guys, one of them, Anthony Lucas, he speaks for himself, Texas A&M, big-time prospect coming out of high school. And look, I want you guys to understand this. You talking about top 100 players on the defensive line, Anthony Lucas, Corey Foreman. When you're talking about in high school being recruited, Corey Foreman, Anthony Lucas, along with Bear Alexander, all three of those guys are top 100 guys that are on this defensive line. This defensive line can be a top 15 defensive line easily. The next guy speaks for himself. I just said his name. Bear Alexander came from Georgia, had 2 sacks in the national championship, played as a rotational player, but he was on that big-time defensive line. I think he's going to help contribute to making this a top 15 defensive line in the country. We could probably move into the top 10, man, with these guys right now. I think that a lot of guys, a lot of analysts are lost in the sauce, don't realize the players that we have. You guys are getting ready to see it. This defensive line is going to be special. Tyrone Taleni, man, Kansas State transfer. We can't sleep on him. He really came on at the end of the season last year. He did his thing. Much props to him. He is a veteran, man. He's a guy that's experienced. And look, man, I'm telling you, that experience alone, second year in the system, I'm telling you, man, everybody's going to realize that this 3-deep rotation of players, look, it's going to be on and popping. It's going to be on and cracking. USC got some players that is absolutely going to help contribute, and this line is going to be that much more impactful with a guy like Tyrone Taleni. You know I'm not even about to forget about this guy, Corey Foreman, man, #1 player in the country. Look, I've been watching his stories. Corey has been working. Look, he did drop some weight, a little bit smaller, but he did switch over to the defensive end spot, which could possibly fare well for him. And so, look, man, don't forget about Corey Foreman. Look, all these guys could have hit the transfer portal if they wanted. They decided to be a part of something special, and Corey is decided to stay as well. So thank God for that. And so it increases the depth that much more for USC. You got a guy like Stanley, man. Stanley, you guys already know, he's put on some weight. He came in as a linebacker to USC, but picked up weight just like Solo. Look, his experience is there too. He's able to get in there. He comes with quickness, and I think he's going to add that much more depth to the defensive line as well. Jack Sullivan, man, I mean, his work speaks for himself, man. I tell you what, man, he's a senior. He's coming in, transfer from Purdue. He caused havoc at Purdue. Led the team over there in some areas. And look, man, I think his go time is on and popping with him. And his veteran experience, look, he's going to cause absolute havoc. I seen him doing it against Tennessee. I seen him do it against different teams in the Big Ten. I think Jack Sullivan is going to cause some havoc. Look, this team has super rotation right now, and it's on and popping, it's on and cracking. We can't forget about Mobley, man, out of Washington, D.C. area. Look, he's came back. He hit the transfer portal. He was a big-time recruit when he came out from the Washington, D.C. area. And look, he's going to add that much more depth as well. We're not even talking about the edge rushers right now. We're only talking about the defensive tackles, the nose tackles, and defensive ends. I just want to show you guys that USC actually has depth that's going to provide us to have a top 15 defensive line. And you can't sleep on this young man right here, Dejan Lafitte. Freshman, man, 6'3", 6'4", 300 pounds. Look, his body's gonna be going all in different directions as well. When you talk about moving people around, he's gonna add major depth to the defensive line, man. So look, it's on and popping, it's on and cracking. And look, man, I need you guys to hit me in the comment section. I need you guys to tell me what you think. Does USC have more depth than what you guys thought? And I think, look, this thing is gonna fare out very well for USC. Year 2 under Coach Nua. And I didn't mention Devin Tompkins. We still got him. Jamar Sakona. We still have him. And so, look, I think this defensive line is going to be special, man. And don't forget the Russians. I'm not including them. You know, Solomon Byrd, I put him over there with the Russians. I put Jamil Muhammad with the Russians. I put Romello Height with the Russians. Corey Foreman's over there with the DNs. So look, I want you guys to factor all that stuff in. Consider that. Where do you see USC's defensive line ranking coming into the 2023 season? All right, is it go time or is it go time? Is it on and popping? Is it on and popping? Listen, I told you guys our defensive line is better than what a lot of people think. And look, I show you the guys we got coming back. I show you the guys that got experience. These guys are going to gel together like never before. And look, we talked about all the transfer portal stuff that will take place, and we are very blessed to have a lot of guys that absolutely stayed, man. Even guys like Corey Foreman, Mobley came back. Kobe Pepe, we are so thankful to have these guys because now they're going to be in year two. They're going to be in year two with this system, and it's going to be go time. It's going to be on and popping, and I think that's going to prove and provide. And look, you guys might see another scheme added into this thing. I've heard, and possibly another scheme could possibly be added on to this defense. And look, I'm not saying the thing is going to change completely, but I think with Greg Brown, he comes in and adds a little bit of flavor. Him being the defensive coordinator, I think he could possibly add some things in there to kind of help assist this defense. Yes, we probably still run the 3-3-5, but then there'll be some other stuff that's going on. You guys will probably see that. So look, you guys hit me in the comment section. You guys tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. You guys already know where you can find me. It's going to be USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. Listen, until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. And look, don't forget to get up, get out, and make some things happen. Fight on, fight on, fight on.